Hello everyone, Stevie from worldoftrash.co.uk here, and welcome to the first of many wrestling-based podcasts. So what is World of Trash? Who am I? Why are we here? Well, this website was originally created a long time ago, but I had aspirations of being a DJ. Those days are long gone, and I decided, hey, that's a cool name. Let's use this website for something relevant, something I love, and one of those things is professional wrestling. So going with the theme of professional wrestling, podcast 1 of the new World of Trash era is me sitting down with a wrestler, a good friend of mine. I would consider him the Hulk Hogan of the northeast of Scotland. His name is Scotty Swift. He has a wealth of information. We're going to sit down, we're going to just see what Scotty's like. We're going to get into the brain of Scott when it comes to wrestling, the UK wrestling scene. He's also a big part of the Wrestlezone Scotland Training Academy, so we're going to pick his brains on that. And of course, we're going to get all the information for the upcoming Wrestlezone Aberdeen Anarchy 2017, which will be live at the Beach Ballroom on the 17th of June. This version of the podcast is the short version. This one will only be around 30 minutes long, and we'll be talking about the build-up to this massive event. When me and Scotty sat down to record this, we ended up talking for a long time. You go to worldoftrash.co.uk, you can get the full hour-long version of this podcast, and you can really sit down and just have a listen to Scotty Swift and I talk about professional wrestling. Hello everyone, it's Stevie from World of Trash here, and today I am sitting, chilling and chatting with the man who taught me most about wrestling on the ropes. Arguably the Northeast's most beloved wrestler, former Wrestlezone Tag Team Champion with Jay Lethal, and the current Wrestlezone Champion, Scotty Swift. Scotty, hello, how are you doing?
I'm good, Steve. What an introduction that was. He threw in Jay Lethal there. That's good, threw it in.
Had to, that's a big deal. Jay Lethal. You were a tag team champion with Jay Lethal.
Yeah, not for long, but we can't take that away from us, so that's good.
We're going to talk about Wrestlezone. Coming up, obviously, is Aberdeen Anarchy, so we're going to cover a bit
June
about
17th, Beach Ballroom, Aberdeen Performing Arts. Tickets are available there. The box office at the Lemon Tree are selling them too as well. Get them, because if you don't, you're going to miss out like hundreds of people have in the past when they're knocking in the doors.
I've seen them. I've seen them firsthand. I have seen families, children turned away at the door because the building cannot take any more people. I've seen children crying. It's horrible, but this
people
happens.
travelling from out with Aberdeen on the day with their children. It's like, don't do that.
Get a ticket.
If you get it in advance, you don't want to travel all that way. But they've been turned away because the building's at capacity, and they can't let you in because it's not a town hall or community centre where they can just. This is like, it's a Beach Ballroom. Yeah. It's like, here's the limit. There's no real flim flam there. So, if you buy your tickets in advance, then the company can announce a sell it, and everyone can know in advance of it, But unfortunately, and I'm bad as well. Our Aberdeens are notorious for waiting to the last minute.
Yeah, yep, 100%.
I'm bad for it as well. I'll get it later, and then they realise,
I'm late.
We missed out here. So it's sold out every year. So.
Get your tickets.
Pronto. And I'm not just saying it actually has sold out every year. It honestly has sold out every year.
I can confirm that it is a bona fide sellout every year. Get your tickets as soon as you can. So last night, Wrestlezone had their fan appreciation night for the first time ever, I believe. That was in Inverurie Town Hall. Yep. Where were you on the show and how did it go? Were you having a match? What's happening?
I had a blindfold match.
Oh, interesting.
Against a super executioner.
Oh my god.
Who's dressed like he's dressed like a ninja, but he's not a ninja.
He's insane.
I think he's from Glasgow because he speaks in a really broad Glaswegian accent.
He likes boasting about his smell.
He smells.
He's a strange character.
I was in a blindfold match. This match was very much a thank you to Inverurie because we've been going to Inverurie for quite some time now. And they've always been really good to us. So we kind of rolled out the red carpet a little bit, opened the doors half an hour early, had a meet and greet myself, Bradley Evans, a new guy, he was there, the Inverurie hometown boy, me, Zach Dynamite, Blue Thunder, Brian Tucker, Mickey Vago, Chris Archer, tag team champions, the Rejected were there. So we were all there, kind of meeting and greeting. That was good, place was really busy. Yeah. Show was great, had a couple of matches where people had the chance on Facebook to pick the stipulation, what choices to pick. So we had a tables match with Ash with Faith and Blue Thunder Unfortunately, Blue Thunder was not successful.
Oh, poor Thunder.
We had a Kiss My Foot match with Mr. Malice and Brian Duggar. Sorry, Lord Mr. Malice.
Lord Mr.
Malice with his butler, Jeeves Winchester, who has got a hump.
He has actually got a hump.
And we have reason to believe that the hump is not a regulation hump. It's actually a fake hump.
I thought that was a real hump.
I don't.
Are you saying that's a?
I think there's shenanigans.
He is even stranger than Super Executioner, if you ask me.
He is. He has trouble getting in the ring. I don't know how old he is.
He has trouble with life, I think. You know what I mean?
He has trouble breathing.
He has just trouble in general.
Everything's difficult for him. And unfortunately, I was not successful in the match because Shawn Johnston, who I'm going to have a match with at Aberdeen Anarchy this year, came out and took advantage of the fact that I couldn't see what I was doing because I was blindfolded. So the Super Executioner pinned me last night, and that's the first match he's ever won.
No one will hear the end of this.
Yeah.
No one will ever hear the end of this. Every time.
Now he's going to claim that he's in contention.
Yeah, he will.
Which technically he is, but the thing about Aberdeen Anarchy is, these things are locked in, and and Shawn Johnston is happening, and Shawn Johnston's going to get a wake-up call, is what he's going to get.
Okay, well, we'll have to see what happens here then.
I was embarrassed last night because, there was the smart money was Executioner was probably not going to win because he very rarely does.
Yeah.
But barring that, last night was one of the more, what's the best way to describe it? Just with the interaction with the fans, it was definitely the most fan-friendly show I've ever been a part of, and it was good to give back.
Oh, it's good to hear that. It's really good to hear. From last night, I seen on Wrestlezone's Facebook page a shiny new belt.
Yes.
And that was the Wrestlezone's Tri-Counties Championship. Now, I've been away from Wrestlezone for a while, so I don't know about the Tri-Counties Championship. Could you tell us a little bit about the Tri-Counties Championship?
I think what the deal was management is recognising that there's so much new talent coming through, not just from our own means, but just there's so much talent in Scotland that it was time to establish a secondary title, a secondary championship belt, because it gives the guys something else to shoot for. The level of competition is a lot higher than it was at any other point here. Yeah. So we can justify it felt if things are done via timing. Yeah. While you're doing this now, it just feels right. And you'll know when it's the right time. And that's how they felt. They felt it was time to establish a new belt. So a 16-man tournament has been ongoing since October in Balmeedy. Yeah. And the finals were meant to happen at West Hill 2 weeks ago. And unfortunately that did not happen because there's been some indecisive results with the last two semi-final matches. Okay. And I don't know where it's heading, but Zach Dynamite, Brian Tucker, Aspen Faith and Bingo Balance are all technically still in the tournament, but we need, guys, you need to stop getting involved in each other's matches. We need to establish a champion here, and if we're going to establish a champion here, then you need to just leave it be. Yeah. And Aspen Faith has been the instigator in all this.
There's no surprise there then.
No, no surprise there. But then the other thing, Tucker, Balance, Dynamite have all been defending themselves because they want to do this the right way, but unfortunately their hands been forced because Faith is
doing as usual.
So we got four guys, and we need to get to a final match here so we can establish this champion. Yeah. The champion, we should have a champion by now, but it hasn't happened yet. Yeah. And any regular fans who become to the shows will know what a carry on it's been. So. But that's that Tri-Counties Championship is really a beautiful belt. It's got the solitaire, the Scottish flag style. And
if you want to see the belt, go on to Wrestlezone's Facebook page.
It's a beautiful belt. The belt has been on display at shows because we were kind of hoping to have a champion by now. It hasn't happened yet. But
it will come.
Hopefully Stonehaven we can get something resolved. Because it would be good to have, it would be nice if they were able to get a Tri-Counties champion established to go into Anarchy perhaps, and maybe they could defend the championship on the big show. So Stonehaven is our last opportunity for a show. We have other things that we could do beforehand, but I don't think management really want to decide it on any extracurricular events. It's going to be on a show, an official Wrestlezone show. So hopefully Stonehaven will be the answer to that.
All right, cool. So the 5th annual Aberdeen Anarchy is coming up on the 17th of June this year. Can you tell me a little bit about this event?
The Beach Ballroom has played host to lots of great acts. I always mention that the Beatles play there.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be performing in the same building that the Beatles were in. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it's sold out every year, and the 2013 was the first time we were in the Beach Ballroom there. It's an opportunity. It's almost a celebration. It's almost like a big blowout for Wrestlezone. We'll get some names, some guys that may be familiar to people who watch wrestling on television. I mean, Billy Gunn and Jim Duggan that first year. Had the chance to team up with X-Pac. That was fun. Scotty Swift came in, had that fantastic match with Grado. That was a riot. Brilliant. That was an absolute riot. Dave Underley, Harper Holly, Chris Masters, Bill Dempsey, Khalito, Hurricane. Go on and on and on. And this year's going to be Melina, former WWE Women's Champion, Hornswoggle.
Oh yeah.
The King of Small Style.
Awesome.
In Rikishi.
Yeah.
If people remember Rikishi, remember the big Samoan guy that danced and the stink face. And they go, the stink face. Someone's probably going to get a stink face at the Beach Ballroom. And I'm just glad I have my match set in stone. Because I actually think me and Rikishi would get along okay. So I like to think that I wouldn't get a stink face. But there's a number of guys on the roster that probably need a stink face because they need to stop talking.
Yeah.
So we're back in the Beach Ballroom June 17th. The ringside tickets are gone.
Yeah.
They went a long time ago. General admission is still available, price at £17. You're going to get over 3 hours of action. You're going to get people that you watch on television. You watch Raw, you watch SmackDown, you have people you remember. Oh, Rikishi, I remember him. Too cool, that whole deal, yeah? Hornswoggle, who has been challenged by Looking Sharp. Looking Sharp, the smallest of the guys in the roster, challenging. Be the one time that if he was to get the match he wants with Hornswoggle, would be the one time that he's the biggest man in the match. That would be the first time that's ever happened. He's 8.5 stone and 5'5". He's
very small.
But he's also very talented.
Yeah.
Looking Sharp is one of the more. Looking Sharp, who is, from what I can gather, my partner's favourite wrestler in Scotland. So it's not me. Her favourite is Looking Sharp.
That cute wee boy.
Yeah, he's a nightmare. But he's talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in terms of matches announced so much so far for that, really only set in stone myself and Shawn Johnston for the Undisputed Wrestling Championship. Things will become more clear. Sami Zayn has challenged Melina to a match. Okay. Whether or not Melina accepts, although if I know anything about Melina, she's not going to back down from the challenge because she came here to fight. She hasn't came here to sit in the crowd and watch the show. Definitely. So Sami Zayn wants to make a name for herself and by picking off a former WWE Women's Champion. Hopefully she says yes, because that's a match I like to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Hornswoggle has been challenged by Looking Sharp. Whether or not that happens or not, I'd like to think it would, because everyone wants to see Hornswoggle as Looking Sharp. That could be absolutely fantastic. And where Rikishi falls into this, not sure. I do know that Grado's going to be on the show, and anytime Grado's on the show, you're guaranteed a good time.
Yes, definitely.
And Aberdeen Anarchy is... If you're a wrestling fan, go. Yeah. If you're sitting on the fence, take a chance. Yeah. It's well worth the ticket price. You will be going to a massive event in the Beach Ballroom, which is a very historic building. Yes, a beautiful venue.
The Beatles have played there. I mean, it comes to British wrestling scene. That was a part of the classic World of Sport wrestling scene. So it's a building that has a lot of historical importance for wrestling, and it is a beautiful building. It was
1984 was the last time that wrestling was there until 29 years later we came back but wrestling. So almost a 30-year absence of wrestling in that venue, and I was very proud for us to be the ones to bring it back. And now it's became a big deal. It's like WWE have WrestleMania, we have Aberdeen Anarchy. It's one night where we get to really put the pedal to the metal and just go for it. So get yourself there. Yeah. Because it's a guaranteed good night. You go to see a wrestling show, sometimes you're 40, 50, 60, 70, £100 for a ticket. Yeah. £70 gets you in for a guaranteed at least 3 hours of action.
Yeah. And I've been to everyone. I can confirm I have never had a bad time. It was always brilliant. And I'm not just saying that because you're here. I'm saying that because it is a legitimately really, really good night to go to. It's a brilliant night. Following on from that, other than your own matches, other than your own match, what are you looking forward to watching through the curtains at the Beach Ballroom this year?
Oh, I won't look through the curtains. I don't want people being distracted by seeing my spiky head come through. Backstage with various monitors set around. There's a good chance for the referees and management to keep an eye on things, but also gives, if you get a chance, you get a free 10 minutes, you can have a wee look and see what's happening. Always good to see how the crowd is before you go out. And if anyone spilt any water on the way out, it's like don't run down that way because you're going to fall and have an accident. And all these things that people don't think of, but keep an eye on. In terms of what I'm most looking forward to, if Looking Sharp and Hornswoggle is a match that does get confirmed, which I like it to be, that's top of my list.
Awesome.
I think I'll get a big kick out of that one.
You just want to see Looking Sharp getting
I want to see Hornswoggle destroyed. I would love to see the tadpole splash.
Oh, brilliant.
And I'd love to see a 1, 2, 3 following it. Yeah, that's definitely top list, and I think a lot of people would agree with that because there's people clamouring for that match.
Yeah.
So
I would like to see that.
Yeah.
So, what has been your favourite Aberdeen Anarchy moment?
Well, winning the championship from Joe Coffey 2015.
Oh, that was brilliant.
I was a bit of a war, and Joe Coffey is a guy I've got a lot of respect for. One of my favourite matches, not just because of the result, but it's headlining an Aberdeen Anarchy with a guy you got a lot of respect for. Whether I get along with him or not is regardless.
I mean, I would say he's one of the best wrestlers going about Britain, look-wise, talent-wise.
He's one of the next guys I think that's going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys who've moved elsewhere to bigger and better things. And if someone was to ask me who's next, Joe has to be there for me. And I'm biased because I've got a lot. I do have a lot of respect for him. I think for me, if Joe isn't on that short list, then someone's went wrong.
Yeah, I think I would agree there 100%.
I think. But yeah, Joe Coffey needs, for me, winning there, teaming with X-Pac was great. When the first Anarchy, my match was second there, and I followed Stevie Xavier and Bingo Balance. So that's great.
Yeah.
But they just had what at that point was probably the best opener in any wrestling show ever. Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, you have to go out and follow those two, and then we did, and people were well into it. So that is what people came for. They came to see matches, so they weren't sitting on their hands. People, that's what I mean. When people go to the Aberdeen Anarchy events, they're not sitting on their hands. Everyone's there to have fun. I think you've nailed it by saying that. And no, they're there to have a good time, and they're there to react, and they're into it. And so your first is always going to be special. Yeah. Last year was myself and Crusher Craig, and I know you want to talk about him later on, possibly there, because there's some questions there. Mm-hmm. That was a match that people thought we'd never see, and it happened. And
I mean, I'll just ask you that right now. I mean, last year you went to an actual war with Crusher Craig at the Beach Ballroom. I mean, at the end of the match, Crusher sustained a really, really serious injury. I think it was a broken hip.
He broke a hip socket. It's when you come off the top rope, it's called high risk for reasons. Yeah. Sounds like every Gorilla Monsoon cliche of all time, but it's true. Yeah. He won't find me up there very much because that's just not my forte. Mm-hmm. There's people far better than me, and they are spectacular with it. That's not where I like to go. Yeah. But Crusher went up there, which is uncharacteristic for a man of his size to go up there. Yeah. And he came off the top, and unfortunately, it wasn't the best decision that he'd made, and he's not wrestled since. And it's coming up for almost a year now, and a broken hip socket is not something that takes the rehab and the healing process. Yeah. So he's at the mercy of his doctors. Yeah. So they say, when's he coming back? And it's like, I don't think he can answer that because it's not up to him.
I mean, I know for a fact he's quite a quiet. He doesn't really speak to people. He keeps himself to himself. So
he doesn't really know.
I don't know if you've heard any rumblings from his direction, or is it just all still silent at the moment? He's not
Richard's not gonna phone me and say, "Hey Scott, how you doing?" Just so you know, I'm healing up well. It's all I can go by. It's like he got hurt. Mm-hmm. It was a bad injury. Yeah, he's since been operated on. And he hasn't wrestled since, and he hasn't really been seen at shows. Mm-hmm. And he's not about to tell me his personal business. So what's probably going to happen is I'll know the same time everyone else knows. And when that is, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's always unfortunate to see one. It doesn't matter whether, I know the match I was in was the match that he got hurt in. I was a part of that. But you don't want to see 1 year old go down. No. There's a difference between winning and hurting someone. That was never my intention. He came off the top rope and it didn't pay off for him. No. So you never want to see 1 year old go down an injury because it's not a good scene. No. And all we can hope for is we hope that he comes back sooner rather than later. And people should probably be scared if you're a wrestler in Wrestlezone. You should probably not be looking forward to that because when he comes back, he's probably going to kill everyone. Well, there's going to be questions if and when he does come back. Is that how is he going to be the same man he was before having such a serious injury? I mean, it's been a year. It's not just the fact that he hurt himself. I mean, he's been operated on, but being away for it's going to be at least a bare minimum a year. He comes back. It's going to be that ring rust. He hasn't done anything in a year. It's not. Sometimes it's not as easy as just jumping back in the bike and going. It takes time to get used to the ring again because if you're not ready, you can easily get hurt again. Yeah. But if anyone can do it, it's going to be him. Yeah. So if Crusher somehow hears this, if he gets on the internet, best of luck with your recovery, and we can hope to see him in the future. Mm-hmm. Back to Aberdeen Anarchy. Do you have any funny stories from Aberdeen Anarchy? I have lots of stories of fun. I have lots of stories from Anarchy that I'm not going to repeat here.
Have you got any funny ones that you can repeat?
I just a little one. The Granite City Hot Shots and Jim Duggan teamed up to face Scott Maverick, James Midas, and Aspen Faith in the first Anarchy, and I was like, I loved that. Great fun. And just before the Hot Shots went out through the curtain, the tag champions at that point, and they get the belts on, and then just as the way to go through the curtain, here's Billy Gunn and grabs the belts. So as they go out, the belts pop off, and they have this really awkward moment where it's like they're really excited. Okay, we've got all these people here. Yeah. Okay, we go teaming with Jim Duggan. We're all excited, and then the moment they come through, they're having to fight to keep their belts from falling on the ground. It's like Billy. He was very much in a he was very. Our referee Mikey and his Billy made it his mission for the whole weekend to just pick at him and pick at him and pick at him and pick at him. And Billy Gunn was high spirits. Once you fed him, he was okay. Yeah. Because he was grumpy when he was hungry, and I was like, I completely sympathise because I'm just the same. That always stands out with me. Just general interaction with Jim Duggan. Yeah, he was brilliant. Was fantastic. I know you spent time with him as well. Yeah. He was great. There is other stories, but I just
maybe for another day.
I just don't like some of the things. Yeah. I just don't think. Yeah.
Save it for the shoot interview in a few years.
We do the shoot interview in 10 years. The shoot interview that will never end.
Yeah, it'll be like a 5 hour, but like Ric Flair's one. Yeah. So finally, let's get to the end of this. Do you have anything you would like to say in the lead up to this year's Aberdeen Anarchy?
Well, I've said quite a bit already, apart from if you haven't liked us on Facebook, get a like going. You go on that notification thing where it says you see updates first about it. Because it's easy to like a page and then forget about it. Like the Wrestlezone page, the Wrestlezone Training Academy. If yourself or anyone you know is interested in giving it a shot, trying, because it's rewarding if you get it. There's nothing quite like getting to the point where you get to that level where you're ready to be in a show and knowing that the crowds came to see you. And that's a very rewarding. It's a very empowering experience to know that you made a difference in someone's life. So, like Google machine, Facebook, very easy to find us. Wrestlezone Scotland is what you're looking for, not Wrestlezone.com, which is a new site, and we still get tweets.
They're a dirt sheet.
And messages from people. Hey, no, you guys heard about this? It's like wrong Wrestlezone all the time. Wrestlezone Scotland. It's like Aberdeen Wrestling. You're gonna find it. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we've got a website. Aberdeen Anarchy, Beach Ballroom, June 17th. So always a good night. Not just saying it because, I would say it, Steve next to me knows exactly what I'm talking about. He's been there for a lot of it. He's been behind the scenes for stuff. He knows what's going on and he knows it's a good night. Looking forward to it. Hopefully Hornswoggle accepts the challenge from looking sharp. I'm dying to see that match more than any other match. hoping to retain the Undisputed Championship.
Do you have any words for Shawn?
Well, I mean, after last night, the words for Shawn I probably won't say here because it wouldn't be appropriate because the language would be a bit unsavoury.
A bit strong.
So it's one thing to take advantage of a man when he can't see what he's doing. It didn't seem to take any guts to do that. Oh, it's fine. And he also had in the Richard R. Russell his
he's back on the go, is he?
His advisor, his consultant. He had Shawn had his walking cane, and that was what was beside him.
So not only were you blindfolded, but he used a weapon.
Yeah. I only knew this after the fact when I had to ask Martin, who's our ring announcer, say, tell me what happened, and he told me, and then I kind of lost it a little bit.
Okay. Well, Shawn, if I was you, I'd probably be a bit scared.
The thing is, well, I mean, he doesn't need to resort to that because I've been singing his praises since 2011.
Yeah, I mean, he's a perfectly able wrestler. He does not need to do that.
He's another one that you mentioned, Aspen Faith.
Yeah.
Right, a product of the environment that we're in. There's Shawn Johnston is another. I mean, he got his start as a tag team wrestler, 4-time tag team champion. Kind of exhausted the possibilities there, so he wanted to move on. Didn't do it in the most honourable ways, but now he's a singles guy, and now he's won the Regal Rumble. This year's Rumble, he won it after coming close last year. Now he's got a shot at the championship, and if you left it at that and the better man wins, it'd be perfect. But now he's ruined that. Yeah? He went over the line last night, and it's no longer going to be like that's a nice little wrestling match. It's going to be more than that now, and that's going to be on him. And if he's unsuccessful, it's going to be his fault because he started this, and I'm going to finish it.
Awesome. Well,
it's anarchy season, Steve.
Anarchy season.
Lots of things happening on the lead up. Say the Comic Con. Going to be part of the Aberdeen Comic Con, going to be part of Aberdeen Music Festival. Yeah. Going to be holding our annual Union Square outdoor event. And then we get to Anarchy, Stonehaven, May 11th. Lots of dates and bad dates. I think Stonehaven, May 11th is the final official stop before Anarchy and then all the other events that we have going on. Super busy. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Scotty, thank you very much for your time. This has been amazing. May the force be with you when you defend your title against Shawn Johnston on the 17th of June at this year's Aberdeen Anarchy.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time.
So there you go, everyone. Hopefully you've all got to get a good look into the mind of Scotty Swift and see what it's like to be part of a company that puts on a show like this every year. Of course, if you want to listen to the full version of this podcast, remember, you can go to worldoftrash.co.uk and you can hear it all there. Next week, we've got an interview with Aspen Faith, another Wrestlezone wrestler who also wrestles for Discovery Wrestling, ICW, amongst many others. You'll be able to find this on the site next week. Make sure to come back, hit subscribe, put that bookmarks in, come back, sit down and listen for an hour as we talk to Aspen Faith about wrestling, and of course, Aberdeen Anarchy. My name's Steve. Thanks for listening.